dari beliau. Itu dari dari Pak Surya.
His Excellency Dr. Ampel, Excellency Dr. Sri Siti Rohaini, Dr. Ptki, distinguished participants, I want to apologize because being late to arrive in this place. It is arrived in Jakarta with this morning flight. It is an honor to be involved in this important conference with very, not just important, also very crucial topics, which is how we should address the problem of Islamic views with the need and the context of our current reality to develop a more harmonious, more stable and secure global and human civilization. As much as it is very little to be admitted, as much as the intellectual and religious leaders are reluctant to acknowledge that Islam actually has a crucial problem in positioning itself within the context of our current reality. And that there are still in many momentums and in various places in the world where Islam somehow becomes one of the source, or at least has a big role in creating problematic social and political dynamics. While at the same time, it is actually the reality. If we talk about Middle East, if we talk about various places in Africa, and also even various places in the West, like in America and Europe, Islam is a problem. That's just simply the fact, whether we acknowledge or not. And we have also our own experience in Indonesia when Islam is a problem in our own social and political dynamics. Nowadays, we are kind of anxious in, facing the coming political momentum, which is the 2024 presidential and general election because we are afraid, we have a great concern that political actors might utilize Islam as a political weapon against war, and that this way of politicking could endanger the social integrity of our nation. So, but we are so afraid to admit that. Maybe some people would accuse anybody who admit this problem with blasphemy. Well, it is a fact. Let's just admit it. It's simple. What we need to do is to understand why Islam is continuing to be a problem. In 2017, not long ago, together with young adult, not the young adult, the Gerakan Pemuda Ansor, we held an international conference on a topic that we call humanitarian Islam, meaning Islam that serves all humanity. The original terminology actually was of Arabic term, which was Al-Islam bil-Insani, or in Indonesian, Islam untuk manusia, meaning Islam that serves all humanity. We was thinking about to create an English terminology of Islam for humanity, but then we thought it might confuse people in the West. They might feel that we want to get all human beings to convert to Islam. If we say Islam for humanity, so we made a little twist by saying humanitarian Islam. In that conference, we were discussing about exactly the problem that I just mentioned, which is why Islam keeps being a problem in the dynamics of our current reality. Now, in that discussion, in that conference, came to a conclusion that we cannot ignore the fact that the legacy of Islamic discourse from the classical era, which is from medieval era, plays a fundamental and very important role in shaping the religious view of Muslims up until our time. Whenever Muslims are talking about Islam, whether it is in public conversation or in various more private context, people always refer to the somehow established Islamic discourse from the medieval era, because it is considered to still be authoritative up until now. And also in almost all of our Islamic educational institutions, the material of education, materials of Islamic education, still are derived from the discourse of medieval era. Now, it becomes a problem when the context of reality changes. We are now living in a world that is totally different from the context of the previous era. In the past, in medieval era, up until at least the World War II, the construct of civilization, and it is not just for Islam, but for all global civilization, was the construct of imperial competition. You know that in the past, there were various imperiums fighting each other, competing to conquer, to have more spaces and lands all over the world. And it was not just between Islam and non-Islam imperium or civilization. It was just all against all. You know that among various different Christian kingdoms in Europe, there was also a fierce competition between, for example, the Britain, the England, and Dutch, and French, Germany, and so on, which was maybe Prussia, right? There was severe competition. And war was like a daily business in the past. War not just between Muslims against and non-Muslims, but also between every other, social political establishment against the competitors. So conflicts and wars were the establishment of global civilizational construct in the past, at least until World War II. But now we come to a reality where this kind of war is simply unaffordable anymore for human civilization because of the the growing globalization and also the growing development of military technology, which produces more and more, greater and greater or destructive weapons. And the international community actually then was, very early aware of this reality. Then there was an international consensus created to prevent, to create a construct where wars can be more, prevented, avoided, and global security and stability could be more achieved. That's how the United Nations Charter was created. And it is what the charter was for, to prevent a global destructive war and to to strive for more global security and stability. Now, so with this, and this started with this charter, the UN Charter, then emerged a new construct of global civilization, which no longer is based on military competitions among imperials, but based on international consensus, more on international consensus. Now not too lama then, after long and actually painful discussion, examination, research, we came to the conclusion that this international consensus, namely the United Nations Charter, was the starting point of the emergence of this new global civilization construct, represented by a new emerging international order. It is the international order that we have now. And based on this new international order, then emerged also the logical, consequential needs, including the needs to, to correct the mode of interaction between various different groups of identity, including religious identity. You see, in the past, before this international consensus, conflicts between Islam and non-Islam was normal. For more than 13 centuries, actually, Islam, represented by, social political entities that claims the label of Islam, were engaging in internal conflicts and wars against social political entities of others. Started from the very earliest era of the birth of Islam itself. In the first, it was for survival. And then, after that, it was for competition between different, imperial entities. So now, since we already concluded that we cannot afford anymore this kind of thing, because it's just rationally, logically, such conflicts will bring the world into total collapse of international civilization. Because if allow the continuation of conflicts between different groups of identities, then the whole human civilization is simply collapse. And it's just, undeniable logic. That's why then we began to talk about tolerance. The need for tolerance between Muslim and non-Muslim. Since when? Since this international consensus. Before that, why should we be tolerant to other? No, if one conflict, go to war. It was normal in the past. That's why we did not tolerate the allies, military, when they arrived in Surabaya to, reclaim Indonesia under Dutch authority. We did not tolerate them. Nahdlatul Ulama actually then issued a fatwa of jihad back then. And the rationale for the call for jihad that time was a jihad against the infidels. It was that, it was exactly that. We went to war against the infidels, which were the allies military. That's what we did in the past. Now after that, after this new international consensus, then came to awareness that we cannot continue this. We cannot even continue conflict against the Dutch on the basis of, what they did to Indonesia in the past. They occupied Indonesia in the past. We simply have to make peace. To make peace with Japan. Now we also make peace with different groups of identities in category domestically Indonesia. Because we now know that we need it. Because if, we do not have the harmonious interrelation between different groups of identities, then Indonesia will not survive. That's why Nahdlatul Ulama now is trying so hard to have a harmonious relationship with Muhammadiyah, for example. We did not need that in the past. Right? This is the reality. But now, since we have the need, the crucial need to preserve the integrity of our nation, then we need to strive for harmonious relationships. Now that is why, and this is due to, the emerging needs coming from the emerging new construct our new context of reality. But then the problem is that we still lacking the authoritative discourse, Islamic discourse to support this. Up until now, what we have is the primary reference for our religious views and the religious views of Muslim community is still this discourse of the medieval era. And this comes also to the educational materials that we teach to our children up until today. Because we still, have not, had alternative for that. Up until today, for example, we still teach in our madrasah, elementary madrasahs, for example, in the subject of history, we teach them with the summary of Nurul Yaqin, philosophy Nurul Yaqin. That is the most popular reference book for teaching of Islamic history in our elementary madrasahs. And when we look into that summary, we see I would say it's a war accounting. In that book, what is recorded in that book is battle accounting. Like in this battle, how many casualties, how many were captured, how much was the ghanimah, and so forth. It's like a debate and cricket of it. And then implant a mindset, our children, about the continuation of conflicts against others. So we have a big problem here, ladies and gentlemen. A big problem if we truly want a new civilization of Muslim. And if we can, we need to generate alternative discourse on this problem, and then we need to work even harder to generate, educational reform in our, religious teachings, our religious educational institutions. So that's why recently in February 6th, Nahdlatul Ulama held an international conference that we called the International Conference on the Fiqh of Civilization. The first, we name it as the International Conference on Fiqh of Civilization. The first, because we intend to have it as a regular agenda. At least, if you can, you want to do it annually or at least biennially. Because we have so many problems to discuss related to this issue. So, ladies and gentlemen, it is a great hope from our side, from Nahdlatul Ulama side, that this conference, AICIS conference, would produce something really decisive related to this. Because things are getting worse and worse, and we have to race against time. and our children and grandchildren really need this. Without this, it is just a real, a true concern, actual concerns that we potentially would fail in preserving this world format as a better, better world, better civilization than our predecessors. So thank you for this opportunity. Not too lama, already we are compiling quite huge materials of discourse related to this matter, and I can say that in near future we are working on this. In near future we will be ready to share these materials with various academic, various circles of academic community, domestically and internationally. Inshallah. So again, thank you. Wallahu muwaffiq. Ila aqwamit thariq. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
A broader sense of fiqh. Al-Muqarram K. Yahya drives us from UIN to deal with the issue of fiqh not only in terms of sociologically understanding of how fiqh has been so far formulated, but also he drove us to go beyond the sociological perspective of fiqh, but also covering the issues of what important schools and madrasah for teaching new understanding of fiqh for better life in the future. Again, please join us to give big applause to Al-Muqarram K.